We're back for our daily NBA predictions here on Friday, March 21st. We've got 10 games tonight in the National Basketball Association, and obviously we've got predictions for all 10 of these games like we've been doing all year long with the NBA. And folks, before we get into the predictions, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA predictions here on the channel. Earlier today, we posted our March Madness best bets, obviously, for today's Friday slate. Make sure to go check that video out. That is linked in the description down below, along with our entire March Madness bracket breakdown. Our eventual champion of the NCAA tournament is still alive. They won yesterday. Shout out to the Red Storm of St. John's. You can check out our entire bracket breakdown linked in the description down below, along with our UFC London predictions, Leon Edwards and Sean Brady in the main event this weekend for the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Make sure to check out that video on Greedo Plays MMA, again, linked in the description down below. Subscribe to that channel, subscribe to this channel as well, as now we get on to the first of our 10 predictions today in the NBA. We start in Washington, D.C. as the Orlando Magic take on the Washington Wizards. Give me Washington on the spread, Orlando to win. I just can't confidently tell you that the Magic beat anybody by more than 7 points right now. I can't. I know they beat the Pelicans on the road by 20 points, but that's the Pelicans, and I don't know, New Orleans is such a weird team, right? They're coming off the victory over Minnesota, and trust me, we'll talk about the Minnesota-New Orleans game today, but the Timberwolves are just so odd. The Pelicans are just so odd in general. I don't know where to really put that matchup in the grand scheme of things between Orlando and the Pels, but since then, they went to Minnesota, lost by 7 against the Timberwolves, then they went to Cleveland and beat the Cavaliers by 5 points, and they just lost at home to the Rockets by 8. Now for Washington, right, they obviously had the Jordan Poole game winner in Denver. The game prior to that, they went on the road to Detroit and beat the Pistons. But then after that, back-to-back losses to Portland and then to Utah. Now, in the Utah game, Washington lost the tankathon because they made sure they were not going to let the tanking Jazz beat them because they didn't let anybody play. We're talking Middleton, we're talking Coulibaly, Smart, Poole, Kispert. None of them played, obviously. And sure, some of them, like Corey Kispert, are actually dealing with real injuries. He just got thumb surgery. How convenient. I'm joking, but still, right? Like, they made sure they weren't going to win that basketball game. Tonight, they have a lot of their guys back. No Marcus Smart, but their starting lineup will consist of Jordan Poole, AJ Johnson, Chris Middleton, Keyshawn George, and obviously Alex Sarr at the 5. I think Washington's able to keep this game kind of close. Again, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. Orlando's really just not the type of team you expect to blow anybody out. Yeah, they're good, but a defensive-minded team who doesn't really get off to the best scoring, outbreaks. I do think Washington can kind of keep the game somewhat competitive, and they do score at times as well to the Wizards. I'm going to take Washington here to cover the points. We're getting 7.5 here at home. I think the Magic likely win, but I don't expect Orlando to blow anybody out. And the game, additionally, on top of that, is in Washington. Yeah, I'll take the Wizards to cover the points here, plus 7.5 for the Wizards, but obviously the money line pick, if you want to play minus 280, do it. Give me the Magic to win, but again, the Wizards to cover. We go on to the second game of the day. We go to Miami, Florida. My goodness, the Heat suck. I mean, are the Raptors going to find a way to get in the play-in? Probably not, because they're on a 3-game losing streak in their own right, but the Heat only have a 5-game lead over the 11th seed right now in the Toronto Raptors for the play-in. So tonight, obviously, Miami takes on Houston. It should come to the surprise of absolutely nobody that the Rockets likely win this game. Houston is 20 games over 500. Sure, are they completely, Memphis Grizzlies 2022 coded? 2023 coded? Probably. I do think they're still a first-round exit, even if they are able to get that number 2 seed. I think, the Timberwolves or the Warriors will likely get them in the first round. But for now, yeah, the Rockets are going to continue to win games. On top of that, Amen Thompson's back. He's probable tonight with that ankle injury. So the Rockets are pretty much back to full strength now, and the Miami Heat can't buy a victory. Now, a very competitive game on ESPN the other night against the Detroit Pistons, a game that eventually, was won at the buzzer by Detroit with the Cade Cunningham, obviously buzzer-beating three-pointer to win the game. Miami, again, just can't buy a game. They haven't won since March 3rd in a victory over the Washington Wizards. It is now 9 straight losses for this team. Bam Adebayo is trying everything in his power to will this team to a victory, but simply put, Miami just can't find a victory. They are 11 games now under 500, yet they are still basically locked to get a shot at the playoffs at the end of the season. The Rockets are the much better team. Obviously, the only advantage the Heat have in this ball game is that the game is being played in South Beach. But I do think Houston still gets it. On top of that, right? I mean, we talk about the Heat's losing streak of 9 games. Well, on the flip side of things, the Rockets are on an 8-game winning streak. They've been finding ways to win games. Wins over the Pelicans, Magic, Suns, Mavs, Bulls, Sixers, Magic. Sure, are those not the most impressive victories? Yeah, not really. I mean, is there a team over 500 in that entire stretch? There's not. Oh. But it's not like Miami's any games over 500. They suck, right? I mean, are the Rockets going to lose in the next game against the Nuggets? Potentially. Again, we'll see who Denver's actually playing, and we'll talk about the Nuggets again later tonight in their matchup up in Portland, Oregon. But, right, sure, all those teams on that resume suck for the Rockets. Well, the Heat suck too. Obviously, the matchup is going to be Şengün and Adebayo, but the thing with this is, right, okay, the Rockets don't rely on Şengün to score. Hell, he has not led their team in scoring since the first Pelicans victory 7 games ago. There are other guys who can score. Tari Eason can explode for games. Obviously, Jalen Green's their primary scorer, and Jabari Smith too, and you do get Amen Thompson back, who sometimes can have big scoring nights, usually not, but right, just an athletically really good player. The Rockets don't rely on Şengün. The Heat rely on Adebayo. You know, I mean, yeah, Tyler Hero's an all-star this season, hasn't really been showing it recently. I know he's been dealing with injuries, but still, right? I mean, Khalil Ware, you know, Andrew Wiggins just been, and I think Wiggins might be out tonight. Wiggins is questionable, right? So just, I don't trust the Heat at all. I think the Rockets, even though they're on the road, win this basketball game, and I do think they cover the 5.5 points as well. Give me Houston on the spread and Houston on the money line here in Miami to beat and cover against the Heat. We go into our third game of the night. We go to Minneapolis, Minnesota for the New Orleans Pelicans and the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm taking the Pelicans on the spread, but we're taking the Timberwolves on the money line. Now, again, there is absolutely zero value in minus 1,200 for Minnesota. So, yes, the best play here is definitely New Orleans on the spread. We just saw this game. It's same exact place, you know, in Minnesota 2 days ago. And what happened? The Pelicans won the game by 4 on the road, with obviously Trey Murphy being out for the remainder of the season. And how did the Pelicans pick up that victory? It was because of Zion Williamson. Williamson with 29 points in that game, obviously propelling the Pels to a 4-point win. I don't think they win this game, but I think, again, asking Minnesota to cover 13.5 is kind of much, considering they have lost back-to-back games at home against 2 teams they should have beat. The Pacers are great. They find ways to win, obviously, like last night against the Brooklyn Nets. But man, they lost to an undermanned Pacers team, did the Wolves, that had Obi Toppin leading them in scoring. Obi wasn't topping any. I swear, I did not mean to say that. That was actually horrible. Anyways, Obi Toppin-led Pacers beat the Timberwolves, and then they let the Pels, and I know, again, Zion's great, but other than Zion, what do the Pels really have? The Pelicans beat the Wolves. I'm not impressed with the Timberwolves right now. Yeah, they went on their streak. That streak's over now. The confidence is gone with Minnesota. Now, in a 7-game series, am I taking them or the Rockets? Probably Minnesota. But still, that's neither here or there. That's a discussion we'll have in a month or so. Ant's great. The rest of the team has not shown up. Again, I think the Timberwolves win it. I don't think they lose back-to-back games to New Orleans, but asking them to win by 14, I just think that's much. Zion's been playing phenomenal basketball, and now he's just 100% the number one guy now because Trey Murphy, who's a 20-plus point per game scorer this season's out for the year, so it's all Zion now. And sure, obviously McCollum's still in the starting lineup as well, but they're asking a lot out of Williamson now. The Pelicans are kind of just evaluating at this point, all right, what do we have for the future? Are we going to keep Zion? Are we going to look to trade him? Well, regardless, it's a prove-it opportunity for Williamson, either if he's going to stay in New Orleans or he's auditioning basically for another team. So Williamson's going to continue to play well. The Pelicans are going to keep showcasing him, and they're going to try to win this basketball game. Do I think they do it? No. But I do think they're able to cover the 13.5 points. Give me the Pels on the spread here on the road in Minneapolis in the Target Center against the Timberwolves. We go on to our 4th game of the day, and we move to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The best team in basketball, the 57-12 Oklahoma City Thunder, take on the 18-51 Charlotte Hornets. The Hornets are coming off a victory over the New York Knicks. Surprising. Now, the Knicks, the no Jalen Brunson Knicks have finally caught up to them. They need Brunson back, is all I'm going to say about that. It's very clear right now they're playing without their star, and yes, Cat's been phenomenal all year long, but just Karl-Anthony Towns is not going to, be a winning formula. They need Brunson back. So yesterday, obviously, the Hornets beat New York in Charlotte. Well, unfortunately for the Hornets, they now have to go on the road to OKC and play the Thunder. Now, The Thunder are going to completely rest their guys now. I mean, obviously, again, you can't. This regular season's still a month away from being over. The last regular season game is April 13th. So we basically have, 3.5 more weeks of the regular season. Last night, obviously, with the Los Angeles Lakers loss out, Bronny, 17 points, by the way, career high. But with the Lakers lost to the Milwaukee Bucks, the Oklahoma City Thunder have now clinched the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. Now, obviously, were they going to get that eventually? 100%. They just needed to beat the Hornets tonight to clinch. But now officially, the Thunder have absolutely nothing to play for except for Shea's MVP. That's the only thing that the Thunder have to play for the entire rest of the year. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Shea is the greatest player to ever put the uniform on in OKC. Yes. Yes, over Russ and over KD. Yeah. It's going to be the third MVP. Shea's not going to only have one. He'll have multiple in his career. Regardless, that's all really the Thunder are playing for at this point. They need to make sure, obviously, Shea gets his 65 games. I don't know where he's at right now because he's taken a couple off. Oh, he's already at 66. So Shea could actually stop playing for the rest of the year and he'd still be eligible to win the MVP. Obviously, again, they're not going to, shut him down. But SGA, who's a 33 points per game scorer, is going to continue to try to put up numbers. And this is the type of game that you do that in. The best bet here, guys, for Thunder Hornets tonight is SGA over points. Because the Thunder are going to make sure that guy goes off for the rest of the season because they want him to win that MVP. Because honestly, that's all OKC has to play for at this point, right? I mean, the wins, they know they're going to be the number 1 seed. They have nothing else to play for other than Shea's most valuable player award. And on top of that, again, the Hornets are coming off the second night of a back-to-back. They were at home last night. Now they're on the road. It speaks to OKC's greatness, by the way. On Wednesday, they play the Philadelphia 76ers. They're incredibly short-manned in that game. No SGA, no J-Dub, and they still beat the 76ers, who I know are horrible, but they beat Philly by 33 points, which does actually kind of improve, Jokic's case because, oh, look how bad the Nuggets are without Jokic. But when the guy in SGA is averaging 33 points a game, you kind of can't deny him the MVP, I'm just saying. And he's going to win the most valuable player award. But at this point, right, it's just you look at how the Thunder are playing. It's all a matter of SGA's MVP. I'd take the over on Shea points tonight. I think he casually drops 40 on the Hornets, and I don't expect this game to be close. So the prediction, obviously, Shea over, Thunder win at minus 4,000, and minus 19.5 for OKC as well. Let's go on to our 5th game of the night. We go to San Antonio, Texas. Absolutely zero playoff implications in this game, and I mean zero. The 76ers take on the San Antonio Spurs. Just, who cares? Honestly, who gives a flying? Give me the Spurs. They've won 2 out of 3, surprisingly. They beat the Pels. They go to Los Angeles and lose the Lakers. And then the Knicks game, everyone's beating the Knicks at this point on Wednesday night. Shout out to Sandro Mamuskelevili, who dropped 34 points in 19 minutes. Obviously, the most points a player in NBA history has scored in under 20. 34 is Mamu's record now. Shout out to him. Now, is that going to translate into a Mamuskelevili, big time role at the Spurs? Probably not. Just one of those random games where a role player plays really well, because obviously Sandro's starting. No, he's not going to start over Harrison Barnes. Don't get too caught up in that victory for the Spurs. Don't get me wrong, I think they beat the Sixers. I wouldn't play this personally, though, just because of just the random variables that can happen with both Philadelphia and San Antonio. But don't get caught up into the Spurs stuff. Just don't. They're good 100%. Well, no, sorry. They're good compared to the Sixers 100%, but they're not, in the grand scheme of things, this team's not all that great. I wouldn't trust them to cover 5.5. I think they will, just the way that the Sixers have been playing. Right, they blow that big lead against the Rockets, and they get blown out by the Thunder's G League team the other night. And obviously, they have a million injuries as well. I mean, we can go over them very quickly. Obviously, the guys we're used to here, McCain, Gordon, Embiid, George. But now Maxey ruled out, Lonnie Walker, probable, great. Kelly Oubre out, Kyle Lowry out, Andre Drummond out, Adem Bona out as well, which means, again, Quentin Grimes' legacy night like it is every single night. But other than that, I mean, who's starting? Jared Butler, Justin Edwards, obviously Grimes, Yabusele, and then what? Ricky Council? Don't like it. Yeah, San Antonio should put belt to ass. Obviously, no De'Aaron for the rest of the season. No Victor Wembanyama, but Stephon Castle's got a Rookie of the Year to win. Chris Paul, obviously, still providing that veteran presence. And Devin Vassell will hit his shots in big moments. I don't know about big moments, but he'll hit his shots at points in the game as well. And, let's see if Mamu is able to do something else tonight, right? Give me the Spurs to win the basketball game. Hesitantly, I'll take them to cover the 5.5 points. Don't love it. Wouldn't play it personally, but obviously we predict every single game. So there's that. Let's go to Dallas, Texas. Speaking of teams who absolutely suck and have a million injuries, the Dallas Mavericks. Anthony Davis obviously still not back. I guess the Mavs. Oh, the Mavs are out of the plan now. Oh, that's big time. Wow, it has finally happened. The Phoenix Suns have finally overtaken them in the play-in race. Wow. It is an end of an era. With the win, Dallas could actually retake that. And we'll get to the Suns game later tonight because it's very possible that the Suns lose tonight. I just don't think a Mavericks team that is going to be starting tonight. Is Brandon Williams out, their starting point guard? He's probable. Okay, so a team starting Brandon Williams, Klay Thompson, Najee Marshall, PJ Washington, and Kai Jones beats the Detroit Pistons, who are well in the mix in the Eastern Conference playoffs right now. Pistons have won back-to-back on the road in New Orleans and on the road in Miami. I'd expect them to beat the Mavericks to the surprise of absolutely nobody. Guys, the Mavs are just so injured. AD's probably coming back, Wait, Dallas recalled Davis from the G League Texans Legends on Monday. Does that mean he's back? Wait, recalled. No, that means he's not back yet. Yeah, he's not back yet. AD should be back the next week, so I guess they're going to try for the play-in. I mean, you might as well at this point. You're tied with the Suns if you win. I mean, we assume they're both going to lose today, just to be honest. But yeah, give me the Pistons to cover. They're the much better basketball team. They actually have a healthy team. Cade Cunningham's been balling all year long. And I mean, who the hell do the Mavericks even have to rely on? Who do they rely on scoring-wise? It's been PJ Washington recently. Washington with 29 in the Sixers loss, 26 in the loss to the Pacers. Spencer Dinwiddie's been playing all right, but no. I don't really care. The game's in Dallas. Detroit's the better basketball team. They will walk into Texas and beat up on the Mavs. The Mavs' chance to kind of get back into things is coming up. It's a road stretch, but it's a winnable road stretch. They're not going to win any of these games, full transparency. Even with AD, I don't think they win many of these games. But this is their last-ditch effort. On the road in Brooklyn. On the road against the Knicks without Brunson. Orlando, Chicago, Brooklyn, Atlanta. That's when you got to make up some room here, especially compared to what the Suns have coming up, and we'll get to that in a little bit. It's now or never for the Mavericks, but obviously they're not going anywhere. Give me Detroit on the spread and Detroit on the money line today against the Dallas Mavericks. To the number one tanking team in the NBA, the Utah Jazz. Guys, the Utah Jazz actually won a basketball game in their last outing. That means they will never win a basketball game for the rest of the year. I'm serious. They're going to make sure they don't win another one, right? They got it. They made Adam Silver turn away and be like, oh, I guess they're not tanking because they beat the Wizards because the Wizards just out-tanked them. The Jazz are going to pray their hardest that the Wizards can find a way to win 2 more games the rest of the season because, guys, the Jazz are not winning a single game the rest of the year. I'm going to tell you their schedule. Tell me a game where they legitimately win. Boston, Cleveland, Memphis, Houston, Denver, at Charlotte. I'm not going to say all the ats, but at Charlotte, they're not winning at Charlotte. Houston, Indiana, Atlanta, Portland, OKC, Minnesota. What game do they win? In Charlotte's probably their best hope, but they'll make sure they out-tank their way out of that one. The Jazz got their one win. It's their token victory. They finally got one against the Wizards. They're not winning again for the rest of the season. The Jazz will finish 16-66. That's going to be their record. I think I did my math right? Yes. 16-66 will be their record. No Lauri Markkanen tonight for the Jazz. Oh, they made sure they're tanking tonight. No Markkanen. Oh, personal issues. I hope everything's cool. Svi Mikhailuk out. Probably KJ Martin out. This doesn't even take into account likely one of Walker Kessler or Colin Sexton will just randomly be out due to rest tonight. And they're playing, obviously, the Boston Celtics. I mean, the Celtics, one of the best teams in basketball, struggled a little bit with the Brooklyn Nets the other night. Or the last 2 times they played them, obviously. Shout out to the former South Dakota State Jackrabbit, my guy, Baylor Shireman. Off the bench, 20 points. I know he went to Creighton his senior season, but man, South Dakota State, stand up. Kristaps obviously led the charge, though, in the 2 Brooklyn games, but this Celtics team is relatively injured. Jaylen Brown's still out. They're playing the Jazz, though, and a Jazz team who's trying to lose, who will definitely rule more guys out before the game. Yeah. It's all Boston. Celtics win at 13.5 points. They do cover, even though they're in Salt Lake. Celtics on the spread. Next up, Phoenix, Arizona. The Phoenix Suns take on the Cleveland Cavaliers. So we mentioned this earlier, obviously, with the Dallas Mavericks, right? Oh, okay, they're going to lose, but at the same time, they got to keep pace or obviously play a game better than the Phoenix Suns. Well, here's Phoenix. They're 6.5-point dogs tonight against the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're not beating the Cleveland Cavaliers. Shout out to the Suns, though. They've won back-to-back games at home against the Raptors and the Bulls. I think I did pick against them in both those games. Whoops. They played a competitive game with with Chicago, winning the game by 6 points. Devin Booker with 41 in that game, and that's the type of Herculean effort that the Suns are going to need out of either KD or Booker at times, usually Booker, to win those type of games, right? The problem with the Suns, guys, is I mentioned earlier, oh man, the schedule is brutal. Cleveland, Milwaukee, Boston, Minnesota, Houston, Milwaukee, Boston, New York, Warriors, Thunder, Spurs, Kings. Other than the final 2 games of the year, what games do they win? Because even that Knicks game, Brunson should be back by then. At home against Milwaukee, but they're going to be underdogs in that game. I can't tell you what games they win here. They're not winning tonight. I don't know. But then you look at the Mavs and it's like, all right, are the Mavs going to win? Because the Suns are the tiebreaker. So the Mavs would have to win 3 games the rest of the season. If we say the Suns only beat the Kings and the Spurs, what 3 games do the Mavs win? Let's just be honest. I can't give you 3. Brooklyn at home. Toronto at home. I can't give you a third. I'm going to be honest with you. I can't give you a third. Hot take, I think both these teams finish 35 and 47, and I think the Suns get the play-in. I'll check real quickly what the Blazers have got going on. They've won 3 in a row. It might be Portland, guys. Nope, their schedule's brutal. Denver, Boston, Cleveland, Sacramento, New York, Atlanta, Toronto, Chicago, San Antonio, Utah, Golden State, LA. They'd have to win 4 games. I think they can get Toronto on the road. They can get San Antonio at home, Utah on the road. What's the 4th game? No, I think Phoenix is going to get in, guys. I can check. The Spurs are going to have to win 6 games the rest of the way out. Even though we think they're going to win tonight. Ooh. No, their schedule's not easy. Yeah, guys, it's going to be the Suns. I'm not joking. The Suns can win 2 games the rest of the season, go 35 and 47, and they're still getting in the play-in. Yeah, it's going to be the Suns. It will be the Suns. And taking into account, the Suns, they've got Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. They'll find a way to maybe beat the Rockets at home. They're going to find a way. They're not beating the Cavs tonight, though. Guys, Cleveland's not losing 4 games in a row. I refuse to believe that. They've lost 3 in a row. Obviously, they got their winning streak snapped, losing to Orlando at home, losing in Inglewood to the Clippers, and losing in Sacramento to the Kings. I don't think they lose 4 in a row. Especially against a Suns team that does not play defense. Here is literally the best offense in all of basketball. The Cavs will outpace them all night long. The Suns, the way that they play, they will not be able to keep up with Cleveland. And the shooting onslaught that the Cavaliers bring on can be Cleveland all night long here to go on the road in Phoenix and beat the Suns and honestly blow them out. I just don't think the Suns are competitive in this style of play. Cleveland minus 6.5. They win it outright. To our next one, to the Moda Center. Up in Portland, Oregon, we have got the Portland Trailblazers taking on the Denver Nuggets. The Blazers are favored to win this game. I'm still taking Denver, even with their injuries. Jokic is still out. Jamal Murray questionable, probably out. Aaron Gordon's playing. Christian Brown is playing. I'm taking Denver with the injuries. I get it. Portland's won 3 games in a row. I don't feel confident in Portland putting together 4 in a row. And the last time we saw the Blazers in a spot just like this against a team that was very injured was when they went to OKC and played the Thunder on May 7th. They played them without Shea, without J-Dub, without Chet, I think without Hartenstein. And the Blazers still lost by 20 points, 30 points. I get it. It's OKC. They're the best team in the league. It's different. But still, the Denver supporting cast, I think, should be able to find a way to win. Kind of like they did in Golden State, right? So again, no Jokic. I'd assume no Murray. So that means Russ, Brown, Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, Peyton Watson. Oh, Zeke Naji? Who are they going to start at the 5? Depends. I guess they could go... No, they're not going to go small against the Blazers because of Donovan Clingan. So... Oh, they'll probably just go small, actually. Yeah. It's a positionless game at this point, right? Because they're able to go small against the Lakers, but... they'll probably just go small again on Clingan. I don't think they're too worried. Regardless, I'm taking the Nuggets. I think they snapped the Blazers win streak. I hope the Blazers win for the sake of the Los Angeles Lakers, obviously. But I think Denver finds a way to win. I'm not going to be fooled by this. They went to Golden State and beat the Warriors, and Aaron Gordon dropped 38 points quietly in back-to-back games. Gordon drops 38 against the Warriors and 26 against the Lakers, right? He will rise to the occasion when they need him to be the number 1. There is a potential, again, in this game that Jamal Murray does play. I wouldn't expect it, But right, when they need Aaron Gordon, he's going to show up. And I do think they beat the Blazers, who are decent, but I think Denver finds a way to win. I'm just going to be honest. Even without Jokic, without Jamal Murray, I think the Nuggets get it done. Let's go on to our final game of the night. In the Intuit Dome, the Los Angeles Clippers take on the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm taking the Clippers -6.5 here. I don't love it. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know why the top headline on the Clippers ESPN page is why Stephen A is expecting Kawhi to get injured. What? The Clippers have actually won 7 out of their last 8, which is great. The only loss being to the Pelicans on the road, which is just odd. But obviously, since that Pelicans lost 4 wins in a row in Miami, in Atlanta, Hornets, and then the Cavs victory was huge as well. I expect them to beat the Grizzlies tonight. The Clippers are kind of clicking right now. They just are. Memphis isn't, right? John Morant still out, if I'm not mistaken, right? Morant out for this game. Brandon Clark out as well. But again, the main injury obviously being jaw. And they haven't been able to overcome this latest jaw injury. They were earlier in the season, right? And Jaren Jackson was taking charge, obviously. But they've gone to really Desmond Bane as their lead scorer. And sure, Bane's going to give you points, but they're just getting outmatched in these games, right? Bane scores 44 against Sacramento in Sacramento on Monday, and the team loses by 10. You know, they lose at Portland in their next spot. Bane led them in scoring with 20. It's just, it hasn't been clicking that great. I think, again, Josh should be back maybe by their next game on next Tuesday in Salt Lake City to play the Jazz. But I'm taking the Clippers in this spot, especially in Los Angeles or in Inglewood. The Clippers have been playing much better ball. Norman Powell's back, obviously still being eased into his role. But, I mean, James Harden, right, always been playing great ball this year. Kawhi dropped 33 in the victory over the Cavs, and Zubac had 20 boards in that game, right? I mean, the Clippers, again, I don't think they're making a far playoff push, but in this spot, yeah, they're going to beat the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are ice cold right now. The Grizzlies are quickly falling down the ranks in the standings, and I think the Clippers get them tonight. So I'm going to take the Clippers to win. I am going to take them to cover as well. I just personally think this is a game that's going to get away from the Grizz. They've been on the road for a while at this point. And still without their star player, and the Clippers again have been playing good ball. Yeah, I think the Grizzlies kind of lose this one and kind of get blown out at the same time. So give me the Clippers on the money line, obviously, and on the spread as well at 6.5. So folks, thank you all for watching our NBA predictions here for Friday, March 21st. If you haven't yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks, obviously. Or, of course, make sure to go check out our college basketball best bets posted earlier today. Make sure to join us as well for more college basketball or NBA predictions. Folks, thank you all for watching, and Mamba forever.